y'all, it's me, it's Ashley. Welcome to my channel. I am an artist, a live streamer, and now I'm gonna call myself a YouTube content creator because that's the whole reason why I was here, or why I'm here, is about a month and a half ago. I told myself that I was going to repurpose the video content that I create during my live streams on Twitch on Wednesday afternoons and repurpose them into YouTube content, plus make these little vlogs week to week that update you on things like my successes and also my failures. And one thing I've been meaning to talk about is a video that I released on this channel about 3 years ago, but it did exist on another channel for a short amount of time until I decided to kind of split off into two channels. And so then I re-uploaded this, or the same video, hid the one, uploaded this one on, I think it was maybe June or July of 2021. It is, I think I can do the thing where I put it up here, but it is how I became a sketch card artist. It's probably my most viewed video because it is a common question I get on social media, on live streams here on YouTube about how I started doing work for Topps and Upper Deck. Full disclosure, that video might be a little bit clickbaity because really there's only about 30 seconds about working for Topps and Upper Deck. The rest of it is a time lapse. It's a conversation about some other tips and suggestions I make, which I think all of that is still really relevant. However, the part about Topps and Upper Deck is not. And this is me coming clean and also asking you to stop asking me how to get jobs for Topps and Upper Deck because I don't know. So that's a little bit harsh, but I am being a little bit facetious. My last sets with Topps were the Women of Star Wars that I did right in like the spring of 2020. And then I did Holocron, which I believe was right in the summer of 2020. I could be a little bit wrong on the dates, but Holocron did come afterwards. Two of my favorite sets from like the caliber of artwork I was doing, I thought I really blew it out of the water. It's some of the work that I'm the most proud of. And I had a lot of fun with it. But shortly thereafter, in September of 2020, Topps reached out and asked me to do an ungodly amount of cards, 30 to 100 in less than a week's time for $3 a card. Should have muted that. Anyways, so they came out with this offer and I suggested that I would do it for double, $6 a card for a rush fee. Otherwise, I'd have to decline. I never heard back from Topps. And then I proceeded to reach out maybe once a month or every few months, I should say. I was not that annoying. It was every couple months, every 3 months, every quarter or so, to try to find out if I was taken off the list, if I could get put back on. Was it something? Was it the work? Was it something I did outside of my contract with them? What was it that made them stop emailing me offers? Never heard back. So I can't tell you how Topps runs their business anymore. I can't tell you how they find their artists anymore. I have not worked for Topps in over 4 years at this point. So I unfortunately just don't know. And then with Upper Deck, a similar situation happened, except I cut contact with them in 2020. I had a really bad experience where I wasn't paid for a whole series of work because it was rejected. I felt that it was unfairly rejected and that it was probably an oversight on their part, but they never communicate what the issue is when they reject work. That's not really my issue. I signed a contract knowing that if they reject work, I don't get paid for it, that's how Upper Deck has always worked. I thought maybe enough time had passed and that I could talk to them and maybe have the contract redlined. And in 2023, last fall, it didn't get released till this year. I worked on Allegiance, the Infinity trilogy, and I was under the impression that they were going to pay for all work, whether it was approved or rejected. Again, an oversight on my part. That was not the case. I just was lucky and got all my artwork approved. But the second offer that they said, I was insistent that if they were to reject the cards, I wanted to at least get base pay for the work that I did complete, as long as it met the contracted, like the reasonable, if like as long as it was reasonably done to the agreement that we had, like I didn't draw banned characters or I didn't go against the terms for those drawings. I felt that they should pay just minimal for and then maybe more if it was accepted or whatever. Wasn't really there to, I don't know what they would be willing to do. And when I asked them to pay me for rejected work, they said no. And so as an artist, as somebody who values their time, I just can't get behind not getting paid, period, especially when you're following the rules, so to speak. So I just politely told them to not keep me on their list and that I was not interested in working for that contract. And if that were to change, I'd be happy to come back. But until that changes, I'm not interested. And they were great. So yeah, I'm not doing Upper Deck work either. So when people approach me about Topps and Upper Deck specifically, I can no longer speak to that company. And that video and those 30 seconds are probably way out of date. And they probably do their artists very differently than they did 3 years ago or 4 years ago, because that seems to be like how the economy and how the world is in general. So I suppose that my recommendation would be to reach out to someone directly at those organizations and find out directly from the source, because I think that another thing I've learned is that it seems like everybody has a very different experience. Like they might have some overlapping, but since it's individual artists all working on their own individual contract, like you could have a very different experience from person to person. So all that to say, stop asking. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I mean, you can certainly come here. That's just about that specifically. I want you to ask me questions about process, about technique, about art as a business. I love answering those questions, but specifically about those two companies, I couldn't tell you anymore. So I'm going to keep this one, look at me, under 8 minutes, or it's at 8 minutes right now. So I'm going to keep this one really short and sweet. I hope that you are having the best week ever. I hope that you're, hitting your goals and seeing big strides in your art and your creativity. If you're not, let's get through this together, because it is a challenge and there is a community here. Speaking of, I'm going to do a little self-promotion. I have a Discord channel and I love my Discord channel. I'm very active there. If you are having questions, if you want some critiques, if you want to just talk about your pets or your garden or music, like anything you could possibly think of, in addition to art and creativity, we are talking about it over there. So join the Discord. Also, I'm trying to make this YouTube thing work, so go ahead and like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, I hope you're having a good week. And if you're not, know that it's just temporary. We will get through this, and I hope to see you again. Bye.